Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about dynamic EQ. If you've watched any of my mix breakdowns, you know I'm always talking about taming frequencies, right? And I'm always using the dynamic EQ to demonstrate that. However, today I'm actually going to do a bit of a deep dive into dynamic EQ, try as much as possible to explain what the dynamic EQ is, show you how it works, and I'm going to show you how I use it in my mixing workflow. All right, so let's jump right into it real quick. I'm going to show you how dynamic EQs work with two different dynamic EQs, but either way, whatever you learn today is going to work for any dynamic EQ that you have. So let's start with the TDR Nova dynamic EQ. The most important thing you need to bear in mind when it comes to dynamic EQ is the fact that dynamic EQs function as a compressor, which gives us a much more precise control over the frequencies in our sound source. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. This is a TDR Nova, like I said. You can obviously see that this functions as a normal EQ, with the extra benefit of also having a compressor baked into it. So let me show you how I typically will use the dynamic EQ in my workflow. Now, sometimes I could actually just hear it. But let's assume I don't know where the resonant frequencies are. What I'm going to do is boost and sweep. This is a very old EQ technique that everybody has been using for years. Just going to do that. You can also solo this band, by the way. A lot of EQs have this feature. That's a resonant frequency. Let's tame that.